My Govanen. Hello, everyone from Tia Eldaleva, the Elven Spiritual Path. I'm Calentern, as you see down here on my name tag on StreamYard. So I see that Faith Gibson is here, and I know that On God Carr is going to be coming on. Hopefully some more people. I know that it's kind of short notice, but I've had a lot of things going on, and I'm in Montana. And I'm safe and everything's fine with that. It's just been busy because I ended up getting a part-time job that is wonderful, but I'm pretty overwhelmed with my time and I haven't figured out how to fit everything together yet, including the Elven Path and like where it fits in. So I'm working on it. Even my work is aware of that. So I'm just refiguring out everything again. And not only that, but I picked up for my astrology practice, I picked up a new radio show, Beyond the Strange. I'm being interviewed. I am going to be talking about the Elven Path at some point because the host of Beyond the Strange, Dave Cruz, is very curious about Elvish and he had some questions about Elvish, and even though I'm not an expert, I could answer some of his questions on that. We didn't talk about it at the last show, but I think we're going to end up talking about it at the end of March. So I live stream on Twitch and I believe on YouTube. I'm not sure about the YouTube one, but we live stream every last Thursday at 7 o'clock Pacific time. So that's 10 o'clock Eastern time. So just FYI on that. And oh, that's interesting, Faith. You're doing the same thing. You work at 5:30. So yeah, we'll make sure that we'll get you to work on time, right? So yeah, so I'm in Montana. I think I talked to you guys last time about the housing opportunity that I'm looking at here. So there's a lot of hoops still jump through, but it's jumpable and still happening, doing it. Gonna be here for a little while. So and it's snowing and it's kind of interesting up here. When I arrived on the new moon, it was well below zero when I got here. The good news is the roads weren't slippery with ice. The bad news is I had a lot of snow drift, so I couldn't see the road, and then there was snow and it was like for 40 miles of driving. It was very tiring. Ended up though getting into Missoula, and once I got onto the 90, which is to go west, like I went north as far as I could, then I go west. So once I did that, the roads were pretty good after that. So I was pretty happy about that. And it's just been a busy time here. Trying to figure out where I sleep, where I keep my things, until the house thing happens. Been a little bit challenging, just to say the least. So, okay, Faith says I will leave the house at 5. What time zone are you again, Faith? I don't remember offhand. I apologize for that because I don't remember where everybody is sometimes. So, and I'll just make sure that we get through the ritual on time today. I also wanted to talk to you all about the fact that Dave proposed to the board. So it's basically me, Deneen, Dakindre, and Dave. That's the board now. Dave proposed a new calendar that he had been doing some research on. So this is something that was always bothering him because we had been for 15 years using the Encyclopedia of Arda's generated calendar that they have, in a little like app or a function on their website. And it never, I guess it never really sat well with him. And I didn't realize this because I thought that the guys with Encyclopedia of Arda, you know, did a good job, and, you know, because they seem like really aligned with Tolkien. And according to Dave, the Encyclopedia of Arda is not wrong, but he wanted something that actually matched what he felt were the matches of the times of the year, for which moons fall in which time periods. And he wanted it to match, even in some fashion, more closely to what Tolkien maybe intended than what the Encyclopedia of Arda provides. So he actually made it easier for us. He provided a date, like a date list, and so we can just look at the date list. So we're probably going to make a meme for that and put it in our calendar section, as well as upload it to our Instagram account. And we're going to have a live video, for what the reasons are, like more in depth, because I want Dave himself to share the research, because, you know, he'll be able to explain it better than I do. On God Car, yay, you are here. Yay. So it's Faith and On God, and we might have a couple of other stragglers coming in, but I think that I'm going to get started here pretty soon, because I don't want to, I want to honor Faith's time, because she has to leave for work, and B, I, you know, just want to keep everything, I guess, flowing. And yeah, so it's one of those things. So hopefully all of you are all doing great on this full moon. We are doing a repeat of Isilnenimë because of this new calendar issue that I just talked about earlier. And if you're just coming in the room, don't worry about it. We're having a new calendar, okay, basically. And we're going to be doing a new video about that. We'll keep everybody updated. But just because the Isilnenimë ritual didn't really work very well last time, we're going to try it again. Hopefully the tech will cooperate, and at least Ellen Mire, or Mercury, is not retrograde anymore. It is now direct. So we will, I guess we'll get started with the ritual. So we probably want to get in our center and our area, and we can face east. And we want to first intone Eru, which is the source, the all that is, that Tolkien refers to as Ilúvatar by the elves. That's their like nickname for him, but or for the source, meaning, because it's not really male or female, it's everything, it's both. Eru. So we can intone that now. Okay, now we want to do the Song of the Starflower, which we call Linde Ellen Lote. And in the book, we still have the regular septogram, but we're going to be hopefully updating our materials with the Septa Quitra, which is the one with the curved, you know, edges rather than the straight edges. But meanwhile, it'll still work. We want to put our finger, or, you know, wand, whatever you have, you know, like if you even have a kitchen knife, right? Like you can fine too, like, you know, mini elven sword. Okay, I usually use my finger or two fingers. And you want to go to the 4 o'clock position in front of you. And we're intoning Star Day, which is Elenia. Elenia. And now go to the 8 o'clock position. And we intone Sunday, which is Anaria. Anaria. We go to the 2 o'clock position. we intone Isilia, the moon day. Isilia. We'll go down to the 7 o'clock position towards the bottom. On the left-hand side, we will intone the trees day, which is Alduya. Alduya. We go up to the 12 o'clock position, noon position, and we intone Menelia, which is Heaven's Day. Menelia. We go down to the 5 o'clock position, and we intone the Sea Day, which is Mariner's Day. It's said Earenia. Earenia. We then go to the 2 o'clock position, and we intone Valanya, which is High Day or the Day of the Valar. Valanya. And to close the circle, to close the septicria, we put it at the 4 o'clock position, and we intone Artha, which is our earth. Artha. Now you can hold your hand either in Fear Not Mudra, which is just your fingers upward, or you can put your hands in Namaste position or prayer and intone Aya. And I like to do it 3 times because it just, I don't know, it resonates with me. Aya. 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 And now we can do the direction calling, which, here, I'm going to enlarge this. Oh, not that much. Okay. Okay, it only enlarges the text, so I guess that won't work. Okay, hopefully you guys can see this. The top figure there is the figure that we will trace in the sky in the east, and we will intone Roman with the Fear Not Mudra. Roman. Okay, thank you. The audio is going in and out for me, says On God Car. Okay, I hope that the recording will come out fine, and I hope that it's something on your end. Yeah, I'm sorry. We're gonna try to do this. Roman. We now call on Manwe Sulimo, the High King of Arda, of the Eagles and the Winds, and his lady Varda Elentari, the Queen of the Stars and the protector of Arda and Iluvatar's children. We welcome you into our circle, Aya. And then the figure, yeah, you can probably see it. It looks like an upside down V or Y, and that is for south, Hjarmen. Hjarmen. We now call on Tulpas, the youngest bare-handed ruddy warrior Vala, and Nessa, the sister of Orome and the friend of the deer, she who dances on the new green grass. We welcome you into our circle, Aya. And now we want to do this symbol here. It looks like a B with a line under it in the north. This is for Forman. Forman. We now call on Ayule the smith, who dwells in the ground. the Vala of the mining, crafting of metals and gemstones. It is he who created the dwarves as a gift to Iluvatar. And to our motherly Yavanna Kementari, the giver of fruits, and the queenly Valier of Arda's maturing green vegetation of harvest and of the life that nourishes all of us, we welcome you into our circle. Ayah. And I see that Faith says it's fine, so cross fingers. On God, I hope that it gets better for you. Next, we want to put this symbol on our chest, heart chakra. It looks like a letter N. Okay. It is the symbol for Ore, which is the heart or the inner mind. Okay. But we will intone me because it means within. Me. We now call on the hunter Vala Orome, the lord of the forests, he who loves the elves and wanders all of Arda on horseback with his horn. And to Vana, the ever young and vital, she who aligns with the flowers and the new plant growth. We welcome you into our circle, Ayah. And now we want to do it looks like a U with a line above it. And this is for Velia, the sky. So you can even do it above you. But rather than intone Velia, we intone Or because it means above. Or. We now call on Lorien of the High Light Gardens, who nurtures our goals, our visions, and our dreams. And to Este, the gentle, the Valier of rest, sleep, and healing, we welcome you into our circle, Ayah. And next, we want to direct our attention to under us or below. And we will be doing the Tingwar. It looks like a Y with an extra tail for Arda. And we intone Undo because it means below. Undo. We now call on those of Valar who walk alone. Ulmo, the brother of Manwe, the powerful and protective Vala of all of the musical waters of Arda, and Niena, the Valier of our transformation and our rebirth. It is she, through her tears, intensely cleanses and restores all forms of fear, pain, and hurt that have come before. We welcome you to our circle, Ayah. And the final direction is west. I want to show you there it is. It looks like the letter M, and it's Newman. Newman. We now call on the halls of Mondos, Namo, the Vala of balance, and the fair judgment of our respective paths of death. And Vaire, the weaver of the ever-changing black and white threads of time, the past, the present, and the future, we welcome you into our circle, Ayah. And now, while we're facing west, if you can move around, we can either draw a flame with our finger, okay, like however you want to draw a flame, or you can draw a flame like this, okay, if it's like a candle flame, or you can hold your hands and you can visualize a flame in your hands, or if you have a candle, even better. You could even have like one of those little fake candles, like a light, that would be fine too. We just want to intone Iluve, the all, the everywhere, and then this is resonant of the flame imperishable, which is aligned with our heart chakras and also like just the whole being of Arda, the earth. It's what keeps everything going. Iluve. We acknowledge that we are one Iluvatar as well as the spirit of Christ consciousness for those Christians who are present and watching. And we feel the flame imperishable within us in our circle of celebration on this night. Now, I should mention that the flame imperishable for Christians who are present is kind of a resonance of Holy Spirit in some texts. So I just wanted to give you the idea of what the flame imperishable represents. In the Tolkien mythos, it is the flame that burns in the earth. It's very, it's what keeps everything going and alive here in Ea, the creation. And now we want to celebrate Isilnenimë, the moon of waters. In Tia Eldolieva, this full moon is devoted to our beloved watery Vala Ulmo and his great powers of sight in both worlds, and most of all, protection. We ask Ulmo if he will provide us strength to ward, thwart, and return to the source any negative entities or negative works, intentional or not. We also ask for help in bridging the physical and the non-physical worlds, to see clearly in both and know the difference, and find inspiration for art, music, writing, and other creative endeavors while we are joining these worlds. We recognize Ulmo delivers to us the resonation of the underground stream, which is the consciousness that has been oppressed by those in a wrongful place of power for many hundreds, perhaps thousands of years. Let us now reclaim the stream and bring back love, light, and balance to Arda. So now we want to prepare for meditation. We have the star flower. Here, I'll switch back screens so I can see that I'm showing you the star flower. Okay. And you can use any flower that you like. I do like ones that kind of look like stars, starburst, and I like them to be white. But you can use any flower that you would like. There's a flower essence that is made by the Batch line, Batch Flower Remedies, Batch Flower Essences, called Star of Bethlehem. And that one works really nice too, because it's actually really good for shock. And it allows us to let go of things that, had kind of frozen to us, like when we're in shock, it's like everything's like, it freezes and it kind of sticks to us. And it can also attract, more events that are shocking to us, after accidents or things like that. So I say that we can access, the Star of Bethlehem, the star flower, whatever you want to access, just visualize the flower and then bringing it to you. If you have the flower essence, you can put it in your water and you can drink it before meditation. If you don't, you can visualize yourself drinking star flower or other flower infused water. Okay, and I happen to have some right here. Okay, we want to now get really comfortable with our feet flat on the floor. If you're I suppose you can lie down if you like too. Some people have access to that. That'd be great. Just get really relaxed and really comfortable. Okay, no crossing the legs and any of that constricts. We want everything really just gentle, just open. And we want to close our eyes and we notice that we are standing on Koro Larire, which is the green mound of the two trees. And we see the beautiful silvery moonlight of the white tree Telperion filling the left side of our body, while we see our left side glowing silver. And while we see this light, we see it on our very blood. We especially circulate this silver light through our ajna, or our third eye chakra, as well as our sacral, or our orange chakra, which is about 3 inches below our belly button. We can see other colors right now. That's also okay. We now want to fill the right side of our body with the gorgeous golden sunlight of the golden tree laurelene. While we see our right side glowing golden, and in this golden light, we see it in our very blood. We can also see other colors along with the golden light. This is all fine. We just allow. We can now direct this golden energy at the crown chakra at the top of the head, as well as the solar plexus, which is just below the joining of your rib cage. We let this healing light nurture us. And now we want to push our tree roots, like our visualize us putting tree roots into the center of Ardha, the earth. And these roots allow us to feel very connected, very supported by Ardha. In fact, we are Ardha. And while we're here in the center of the earth, the center of Ardha, we can just let our cares go. Let everything that is like not in the highest good, just let it go. Let the earth take the energy and transmute it. And now we want to focus on reaching up towards Vilia, the sky, and in all directions, like with your hands, your hair, like whatever. It's like embracing all of the sky, the sun, the moon, the stars. And each time we expand our branches, we expand our roots. We keep going deeper and deeper and further. And we reach into places of elven and ancestral memory. We want to be very grounded to the source and the all that is. So the trees have a symbiotic relationship so that they fluctuate. So sometimes Telperion, the silver tree, glows silver. And then it fluctuates back, and laurelene, the golden tree, glows golden. And it fluctuates back and forth in a really beautiful, balanced, nature's way. We may be starting to get some visions right now, or messages. We will allow these things to take their respective course. And we want to now visualize all of us, rather than being on the green mound where the two trees are, we want to now go to the waters. Perhaps we come upon a beach, or maybe even the waters of the awakening at Cuivienen, where the elves woke, or the oceans that lie in the west toward the blessed realm. Look toward the water, and we see Ulmo beckoning us. in whatever form that he may appear to you. He may appear as, you know, like a person, fish type thing, or he might appear as a wave. In any case, that it's all okay. We visualize ourselves being able to breathe underwater. We can grow gills if we want. We can stand on the shore if that appeals to us. You can stand on the shores of the Lake of Cuivienen or the shores of the Grey Havens. In all cases, we can ask Ulmo, ever present in all of the waters, if we can go with him, and for him to show us what he wishes to show us. We know that he is protecting us and always does. He may reveal feelings, symbols, stories, correspondences, and even give you much artistic and musical inspiration. We remember what he reveals to us and we just flow with it. And we'll spend about 5 to 10 minutes. I'm going to ask how long. How long do we spend? 5 or 10 minutes? Okay, it says 5 minutes. So I will set the timer for 5 minutes. Okay. We're going to add this to the stream. Okay. And you'll see that I have the clock set at 5 minutes. And now our meditation can come to a close. We thank the Valar, and in particular to Ulmo, and any of your Maiar or Elven guides for their assistance with you today. And we slowly come back to the physical world, and we remember what transpired. We bid Ulmo farewell, and we turn our attention back from the waters, back from the beach, and we turn it to Koro Larire, the mound of the two trees. And in fact, we bring our consciousness into the trees themselves. So now we want to draw in our branches that we extended earlier, and we remember our connection to the sky. We now also wish to unroot from Ardada, but we realize we always have this connection. We now want to slow down the golden energy. We slow down the silver energy. And then these energies can combine and become 3 jewels, the Silmarillions, that we can keep even in our pockets. And we can access this healing light anytime that we would like. And now we can take a deep breath. You might still be a little lightheaded. You can put a little bit of salt on the tip of your tongue, or any kind of bread or drink or food. And we'll feel very refreshed. Our work is done. We acknowledge the existence of Iluvatar, the all that is, and the flame imperishable, while we were in circle. And we thank the Christ Spirit for us being with us in circle, for Christians who are present. And may we see all of your presence in all outside of this circle, Laita. Thank you to all of the Valar, and in particular to Ulmo, for being with us in circle and for carrying out in spirit our work done tonight. We hereby open ourselves to you, even outside of this circle, Laita. We acknowledge and we are grateful for the elements and the directions, and to the silver and the golden light for creating our blessed space in which we may do our spiritual work on this sacred night, Laita. And now we want to push down all of the energy that we generated and just kind of lower it all in and let it sink into Ardada, the earth. Ardada, here is a gift of energy, of pure intent, of love, light, and healing that comes from the very deepest places of our hearts. And may it heal you and all of your inhabitants and bring all things to natural balance. The circle is now open. And so if you guys are still a little bit lightheaded, go get your food and drink right now. And I'll hang around for a little bit to hear some of your experiences with Ulmo. It was a beautiful feeling. I felt cleansed. I saw the most radiant aqua color like swirling around me and just taking all of the stuff off of me. It was so clear. I don't think that I've ever had that clear of a color in my vision before. Like it was just beautiful, and I wanted to share that with you. So I think I've been doing a lot of healing and cleansing while I've been up here in Montana. I wanted to hear what you guys' experiences are. And while you're typing those into the chat, I was going to read off the new calendar dates that Dave has proposed for the holidays. And so these are not the solar holidays. Those will remain the same. Those are Tolkien based, and they're set. So you don't have to worry about those. And we're not going to change Qui Vere Quendiva either. We are only looking at the moon placements because in the Elven calendar, they have seasons, but not necessarily months. And months is the only way that we have to measure the moons. And so we've adopted the Numenor names, which they were using Quenya for. And so we thought, oh, well, this will work for the calendar. We were using Encyclopedia of Ardada, but it's a little bit off for the calendar as proposed by Dave. And by the way, Dave has done a ton of research. He's really detailed about this stuff, and actually the calendar that he proposes is actually easier to kind of remember because it's pretty resonant even with the Gregorian months that we already have. And we are doing this so that we don't have to refer to the Encyclopedia of Arda if anything ever happens to it. Because for 15 years we've been using it, but we were thinking about like, well, what if they disappear, or, should we just use their JavaScript or, whatever it is. And Dave said, I have an idea, and basically, did a lot of research to rework the calendar. So the Moon of Waters, which is now, and by the way, even the Morons, which are the dark moons, and the Querons, which are the newly waxing moons, will also be like within these time periods. And then if there is a second one within these time periods, we will use the Mayaron, which is of the Mayar, and also resonates with some of the fairy spirits that are talked about in the Lost Tales. So it's a time for them to be recognized, and it just comes randomly. So, wherever there's the 13, basically, that's where that happens. So I'll go ahead and read off that it's January 30th through March 1st, which would be Isilnenimë, which is the Moon of Waters. So even if we have like anything between January 30th and March 1st that is a moon holiday, it will be the Nenime month, and it will resonate with Ulmo. We next have March 1st through March 31st as being the Sulime month, which is the breezes, okay, meaning the wind. And Manwe, obviously, is who we resonate with that month. April 1st to May 1st would be Virese, which is youth, and we align that with the Vala Tulkas. May 2nd through June 1st would be Lotese, which is flowers, and we align that with Nessa. And the reason that we didn't do Vana is because we have Vana aligned with the actual Nos Na Lothion holiday. So we align Nessa with the flowers because she dances through the flowers. Okay, that's just what worked. June 2nd to June 30th would be Nadie, which is bright fire. It's around this time of the solstice, and we have Vardada Elentari, or I'm sorry, Luthien was dancing under the moon to singing praises to the Star Queen, Vardada Elentari. So we decided to put that with that particular placement because it seemed to make sense from the stories in the Legendarium. July 1st through July 29th would be Kermie, which is the first harvest, and this is when we pay attention to Irmo or Lorien. And we like that because he resonates with the moon, and the moon is it's interesting because in astrology, that's the time of the year for Cancer. And so we thought that was kind of a good fit. And plus the first harvest, there is some things that harvest first around the solstice. And then there's a later harvest, in the autumn. So we just, just be really clear about that. So we resonate with that Irmo with that one. July 30th through August 27th, which in the Northern Hemisphere is the hottest time of the year. So we resonate that time with heat. Okay, Urime means heat, and that's the month that is. And so with the heat, we decided to use the Ainur with the origin and the Ea story and the generation of that flame and everything that happened in order to create Ea. So some people might want to put the flame imperishable there. That's a good idea. But we also do the Ainur because they sang everything into existence. August 28th through September 27th, we have Yavaniye, which is the month of Yavanna, which is obviously the second harvest. And September 28th through October 28th would be Narqualie, which is the fiery fading or the fading fire. And it's because of the leaf color as well as the fading sunlight at that time of the year. It's already starting to fading and get dark and go into the season of fading. October 29th through November 28th is Hisime, which is the mists. And I think that that's very interesting because the mists would cover the Samhain time, like in the pagan calendar, and the mists are like another resonance of the veils between the worlds. There's a thinness to that, and I think that it's very interesting that the mists would resonate with that time that Dave has proposed, and this is one of the reasons that we are implementing the calendar. And we will have an opportunity later for a video to be live streamed where we have another one of our patrons who wants to join the conversation, in the live stream. And if any of you do also, if you are patrons and you want to join, toss me a note. We'll try to schedule it so that you can come also. November 29th through December 29th would be Ringare, which is the frosty cold. This is like when it's like totally draining out to go to the darkest time of the year. And the solstice, which is December 21st in the Gregorian calendar. So it's that really dark time of the year. And then December 30th through January 29th, we have Isil, well, actually all of the moons, but Narvinye, which means new fire. So it's like a reborn. And we align Iole the smith with that returning light because he's kind of underground with the metals and the jewels and all of that. Plus he resonates with that new fire energy, and he's kind of a workaholic, and that is the Capricorn time of the year mostly. And so we lined it up with that. And then January 30th through March 1st, so see how it circles back, would be the Nenime, which is waters. So this is where we are right now, is in waters, and only for a couple more days. Actually, we'll be in the moon of Breeze's month next on March 1st. So I thought I would mention that. I may have forgotten to say who we put for each of the ones after Yavanna. So for fading, the fading fire, we resonate that time with Namo of the Halls of Mandos, which is the time of fading and death. The mists, we resonate with Este the Gentle, who she, like in our physical sleep, we heal. And so we already had Niena for, Solvaweras, and, also, we also call her in for the frosty cold, and I'll tell you why in a moment. But the Moon of Mists, we decided to align with Este the Gentle because she wears gray, so it's kind of misty, and she does healing while we sleep, and that's kind of the time when, the in-between times that we were talking about, we do a lot of healing. The moon of the new fire, we resonate with Iole the Smith. and then moon of waters is Ulmo. So I think that I covered all of the moons, just to let you know that. And we're going to be making a meme for that and also updating our calendar document so that all of you will know. So I just wanted to go over that and say that, and then I'm going to go over here to the, okay, audio's fine. It's fine for me. Thank you for reminding about not crossing the legs. I know I do it too. I totally do that. Okay, so that's why I even have to do that for myself. Thank you, Faith. On God Carr says, it was such a playful experience diving with the whales and dolphins, exploring ancient underwater ruins. Really? Oh my goodness. That must have been so fun. So the underwater ruins, I'm kind of curious about what those might have been, because I do have a friend of mine who, she's not on the Tolkien path, but she does read a lot of Tolkien along with other, you know, fairy myths and things like, you know, of ancient lore, and really believes that, like, she lives in Ireland and has, she said, you know, because she has the second sight, and she says that she definitely encountered like underwater cities, like with a resonant of a sea elf. Now we're not really sure if that's, you know, like the Tolkien Teleri, or if it's like a sea elf that, you know, is from other mythos. But she said that they're kind of similar in feeling. She's not, you know, she feels like that they could be something that Tolkien might have been referring to, like in the Lost Tales, or, you know, some of the other stories. So I thought that I'd mention that. The underwater ruins. Wow, that's pretty cool. It's really cool. Um, Faith, I'm guessing that you probably had to run off to work, because I remember you saying something, and I don't know if anybody else is here. Goodbye. Have a wonderful time at work. Okay, thank you for tuning in. And On God Carr, thank you for sharing your beautiful experience. And anybody else, they can put their experiences down in the comments. Namaste, Faith. Yeah, namaste. Yeah. Have a wonderful day. And Laita and blessings to all who are present and all who are watching the replay of this video. I'm Calendar Nail, and I'm going to let everybody go back to having their weekend and Saturday, and let's go out and see that moon, okay? Because it's, if we can, because I know that in some places, you know, it might be cloudy, but let's just let the bathing of the moon of the waters, like, wash us clean, wash it all away. And I'll see you very soon. Okay, we'll be back with a video on the Elven calendar, and I hope that everybody is doing wonderful. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bye-bye.